Okay, good evening, all students. Heartily welcome, my lovely students. Today, we are going to read a beautiful topic how I taught my grandmother to read, written by Sudha Murty. Okay, okay, very interesting story. The story is about how the narrator helped her grandmother learn reading. Okay, यही कहानी है कि कथावाचक ने अपनी दादी को पढ़ाना कैसा सिखाया। वही तो बात है ना, और कुछ नहीं है। ओके, लाइन बाय लाइन आई एक्सप्लेन। ओके, all students attention and listen properly. Okay, first line. When I was a girl of about 12, I used to stay in a village in North Karnataka with my grandparents. Okay, uh, one is difficult was village. Okay, a small rural area. Okay, another is grandparents, parents of one's parents, dada dadi. Okay, uh, the narrators says that when she was around 12 years old, 12, 12-year old. Okay, she lived in a village in North Karnataka with her grandparents. Okay, okay. Next line. Line number 2. Okay. Those days, the transport system was not very good. So, we used to get the morning paper only in the afternoon. Okay, morning paper in the afternoon. Okay, so one used to means modal verb. Okay, difficult word, some difficult word. Transport system of travel. Okay, another meaning is morning paper, newspaper. Okay, okay. At the time, at the time, transportation was very poor. Transportation system very poor. So newspaper that should arrive in the morning came only in the afternoon. Okay, okay. Another line. The weekly magazine used to come one day late. One day late. Okay. Weekly magazines means magazine published once a week. साप्ताहिक पत्रिका. Okay, the magazine that was published weekly would arrive one day late. Okay, one day late. Okay, all of us would wait eagerly for the boss, which used to come with the papers, weekly magazines, and the post. Okay, eagerly means excitedly. Okay, post means letter, mail. Okay, Okay. Hmm. All of us, everyone waited excitedly. Everyone waited excitedly for the boss because it brought newspaper, magazines, and letters. हम सभी बॉस का इंतजार से करते थे क्योंकि वही बॉस अखबार, पत्रिका और डाक लेकर आती थी। इसलिए हम excitedly for the boss, waiting everyone's. Okay, next line number 5. At that time, Tribeni was a very popular writer in the Kannada language. Okay, Kannada language. Popular means popular, well known. Writer, author. Okay. Ah. During that time, during that time, during the time, Tribeni was a famous writer in Kannada. Tribeni was a famous writer in Kannada. Okay. उस समय त्रिवेणी कन्नड़ भाषा की बहुत फेमस लेखिका थी। ओके, नेक्स्ट line number 6. She was a wonderful writer. Wonderful means excellent, शानदार। ओके, वो बहुत ही शानदार लेखिका थी। ओके, नेक्स्ट लाइन नंबर। Her style was easy to read and very convincing. Okay, convincing. Her writing style was simple. Her writing style is simple to understand and made readers believe in what she wrote. Okay. उनकी लिखने की शैली सरल थी और बहुत प्रभावशाली थी, जिससे पाठक विश्वास कर लेती थी। ओके, लाइन नंबर 8. Her stories usually dealt with a complex psychological problems in the lives of ordinary people and were always very interesting. Complex means complicated, jotted. Psychological means related to mind, manasik. Okay. And another is ordinary people and common people. Interesting means rochak, engaging. Okay. Okay. Her stories were about complicated mental and emotional problems faced by common people, and they were always engaging. Okay. Line page number 2 completed, and another page number 3. Okay. Unfortunately for Kannada literature, she died very young. Okay, died very young. Unfortunately means sadly. Literature means written works. Okay, written works. It was sad for Kannada literature because the writer died at a young age. Okay, line number 2. Even now, after 40 years, people continue to appreciate her novels. appreciate. Appreciate means admire, like novels mean long stories, upanyas. Okay. Even after 40 years, people still like and admire her novels. Okay. people आज भी 40 साल बाद लोगों उनकी कहानियां की पढ़ती थी, अप्रिशिएट करती थी, एडमायर करती थी. ओके. नेक्स्ट लाइन नंबर 3. One of her novels, called Kasiyatre, was appearing as a serial in Kannada weekly Karmavira. Then, okay, difficult word. Serial means story published in parts. Dharabai. Weekly means once a week. Saptahi. Okay. Okay. One of her novels named Kasiyatre was being published in parts every week in a magazine. Okay, called Karmavira. Okay. Karmavira. उनकी एक कहानी काशी यात्रा उस समय कर्मवीर नाम की साप्ताहिक पत्रिका में पब्लिश में छाप रही थी. ओके. नेक्स्ट लाइन. It is the story of an old lady and her ardent desire to go to Kashi or Varanasi. Okay. Kashi and Varanasi. Ardent means very strong. Okay. Write down. Very strong. Desire means wish. Ichha. Okay. The story is about an old woman who strongly wishes to go to Kashi. Okay, Kashi or Varanasi. ओके. वही कहानी एक बूढ़ी महिला की है जिसकी काशी जाने की बहुत तीव्र इच्छा थी. ओके. लाइन नंबर 5. Okay, most Hindus believe that going to Kashi and worshipping Lord Visheshwara is the ultimate punya. Okay, ultimate punya. Worshipping means praying, पूजा करने का. Ultimate punya means highest spiritual merit. Okay. Many Hindus think that visiting Kashi and praying to Lord Visheshwara gives the highest spiritual merit. Okay. This old lady also believed in this. Her struggle to go there was described in that novel. Okay. Struggles means difficulties. Described, explained. The old woman also believed this, and the story describes her efforts and difficulties to go to Kashi. Okay. Line number 7. Hmm. In the story, there was also a young orphan girl who falls in love, but there was no money for the wedding. Okay, for the wedding. Orphan means child without parents, anath. Wedding means marriage, shadi. Okay. Hmm. The story also includes a poor orphan girl who falls in love, but cannot marry because she has no money. ओके. कहानी में एक अनाथ लड़की भी है जो प्रेम करती थी, लेकिन उसके पास शादी के लिए पैसा नहीं है. ओके. नेक्स्ट लाइन नंबर 8. In the end, the old lady gives away all her saving without going to Kashi. Okay, saving means saved money. Bachat. Okay, bachat. At last, the old woman donates all her money and does not go to Kashi. अंत में बूढ़ी महिला अपनी सारी बचत दे देती है और काशी नहीं जाती. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. ओके. ओके. लाइन नंबर 9. Okay. She says the happiness of this orphan girl is more important than worshipping Lord Viseswara at Kashi. Okay. Viseswara at Kashi. Kashi. Importance. Happiness means joy. Khushi. Importance means valuable. Okay. She believes helping the girl is more important than her religious journey. The old lady वो कहती है कि उस अनाथ लड़की के खुशी काशी जाकर पूजा करने से ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है. ओके. लाइन नंबर 10. ओके. माय ग्रैंडमदर Kristaka never went to school, so she could not read. Grandmother में दादी. Okay. The narrator's grandmother was uneducated and could not read. Okay. Every Wednesday, the magazines would come. I would read the next episode of this story. Okay. Episode means part of story. Okay. Part of story. Every Wednesday, when the magazines arrived, the narrator read the next part of the story to her grandmother. Okay, to her grandmother. That is 12. During that time, she would forget all her works and listen. Okay. While difficult word, forget means भूल जाना. Listens means सुनना. Okay. While listening to the story, she forgot all her works and paid full attention. Okay, full attention. Page number 4, line 1. Greatest concentration. Okay, the grandmother listens with full attention and focus. दादी पूरी एकाग्रता और ध्यान से सुनती थी. Concentration means full attention. Okay. Line number 2. Later, she could repeat the entire text by heart. Okay, difficult word. Repeat means say again. Say again by heart from memory. Okay, from memory. After listening many times, she could remember and say the whole story without reading it. Okay, understand? बाद में वो पूरी कहानी बिना पढ़े याद से सुना सकती थी. Okay, very interesting. My grandmother too never went to Kashi and she identified herself with the novel's protagonist. Okay, write down protagonist means protagonist. Identify herself means felt similar. Okay, खुद को जोड़ना. Okay, protagonist main character, मुख्य वाला main character. Okay. Okay. The grandmother had also never gone to Kashi and felt that she was similar to the main character of the story. क्या हुआ ना, मेरी दादी भी कभी काशी नहीं गई थी और उन्होंने खुद को कहानी की मुख्य पात्र से जड़ती थी. Okay. Line number. So more than anybody else, she was the one most interested in knowing what happened next in the story. Okay. Interested means precious. Happened next means next event. Okay. She was more precious than anyone else to know what would happen next in the story. Okay. Okay. And I used to insist that I read the serial out to her. Insist means strongly demand. Okay. Strongly demand. Serial means story in parts. Okay. She always strongly requested the narrator to read the story aloud to her. वो हमेशा जोर देकर कहती थी कि मैं उन्हें कहानी पढ़कर सुनाऊं. Okay. Line number 6. After hearing what happened next in Kashi Yatra, she would join her friends at the temple courtyard. Okay. Means no difficult word here. Okay. After listening to the new part of the story, she would go and meet her friends at the temple area. काशी यात्रा की अगली कहानी सुनने के बाद वो मंदिर के आंगन में अपनी सहेलियों के पास जाती थी. Okay. Where we children would also gather to play hide and seek. Gathers mean come together. Okay. And another is hide and seek, children's game. Luka Chipi. Okay. Okay. At the same place, the children used to come together to play games like hide and seek. Okay. वहीं पर हम बच्चे भी जाके लुका छिपी खेलती थी. Page number 5. Okay. She would discuss the latest episode with her friends. Discuss means talk about. Discuss means talk about. Latest episode means newest part. Newest part. Okay. The grandmother used to talk about the newest part of the story with her friends. Okay. Line number 2. At that time, I never understood why there was so much of debate about the story. Debate means discussing, arguments. Okay. The narrator did not understand why people talked so much and argued about the story. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। उस समय में समझ नहीं पाती थी कि लोग कहानी पर इतना क्यों चर्चा और बहस करती थी। Once, once I went for a wedding with my cousins to the neighboring village. Neighboring means nearby, पास में। ओके। एक बार मैं अपनी चचेरी भाई बहनों के साथ पास के गांव में शादी में गई। ओके। In those days, a wedding was a great event. Okay. At that time, wedding were very important and joyful occasions. Okay. Events means occasions. We children enjoyed ourselves thoroughly. Okay. Thoroughly means completely. Okay. The children had a lot of fun. Okay. She would eat and play endlessly and savoring the freedom because of the elders were busy. Hmm. Endlessly means without stopping, लगातार. Savoring means enjoyful, full, enjoying fully. Elders mean older people. Okay. The children kept eating and playing happily without stopping, enjoying their freedom because elders were occupied. I went for a couple of days but ended up staying there for a week. Couple of days, 2 days, 2 दिन. Ended up finally stayed. Okay, 7. Okay. The narrator planned to stay for 2 days but stayed for a whole week. मैं 2 दिन के लिए गई थी लेकिन एक हफ्ते तक वहीं रुक गई। Okay. When I came back to my village, I saw my grandmother in tears. Okay. In tears means crying, रोते हुए। Okay. When she returned, she saw her grandmother crying. Okay. जब मैं वापस आई तो मैंने अपनी दादी को रोते हुए देखे। क्यों? क्या हो गया? लाइन नंबर 9. I was surprised, for I had never seen her cry, even in the most difficult situations. Surprise means shocked. Shocked. Difficult situation means hard times. Okay. She was shocked because her grandmothers never cried even in hard times. What had happened? I was worried. Okay. Worried means, okay, write down. Anxious. What had happened? क्या हुआ था? मैं चिंतित हो गई। हम्म, Line number 11. Abha, is everything all right? Are you okay? All right means fine. She asked her grandmother if everything was fine. I used to call her Abha, which means mother in Kannada, spoken in North uh, Karnataka. Means referred to. Okay. I used to call her Abha. The narrator explained that Abha means mother in their language. Okay. She nodded but did not reply. Nodded, moved head. Okay. दादी ने सिर हिलाया लेकिन कुछ नहीं बोली. Okay. I did not understand and forgot about it. Later did not understand the reasons and ignore it. Okay. In that afternoon, in the night, afternoon dinner, after sorry, in the night after dinner, we were sleeping in the open terrace of our house. Terrace means roof area. Roof area. That night, they slept outside of the terrace after eating. It was summer night, and there was a full moon. Okay, it was pleasant summer night with a bright full moon. Abha came and sat next to me. Okay, grandmother came and sat beside the narrators. Okay, her affectionate hands touched my forehead. Means affectionate means loving. Forehead means matha. Okay. She gently touched the narrator's forehead with love. I realized she wanted to speak. The narrator understood that her grandmother wanted to say something. Okay. I asked her, "What is the matter?" She asked, "What the problem?" Okay. Okay, page number 6. When I was a young girl, I lost my mother. Okay, young girl means small. Okay, lost means her means mother dead. Okay, the speaker says that when she was small, her mother dead. Okay, there was nobody to look after. Look after. This phrasal verb. Look after. Okay, and guide me. Look after means phrasal verb. Take care. Guide means show directions. Okay, no one was there to take care of her and show her the right path. Okay. My father was a busy man but got married again. Busy means having a lot of work. Her father was always busy and later remarried. Okay. In those days, people never considered education essential for girls. So I never went to school. Considered. Okay. Believe. Manna. Essentials means very important. Okay. Essentials means very important. All that time, people did not think girls needed education. So she did not go to school. Okay. Hmm. I got married very young and had children. Very young means at an early age. Okay. She was married at a early age and became a mother. I became very busy. I became very busy. Her life became full of responsibilities. Marriage after marriage. Okay, became. Later, I had grandchildren and always felt so much happiness in cooking and feeding all of you. Grandchildren means children of her children. Feeding means giving food. When she grew older, she had grandchildren and felt happy cooking and feeding them. At times, I used to regret not going to school. At times means sometimes. Regret means feel sorry. Sometimes she felt sad that she never got educations. So I made sure that my children and grandchildren studied well. Made sure, ensure. Studied well means got good educations. Because for this regret, she ensured her children and grandchildren got proper educations. Okay, okay. I taught my grandmother to read Sudha Murty. Uh, Part one completed. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you.